Today I want to talk about the 5 fake rules of minimalism that I personally have let go of over the last several months. These rules, you can say that I imposed them on myself or that I've picked them up from other places, but over the course of the last 4 to 5 months, I've identified them and I have let them go. So today I'm going to share with you the 5 fake rules of minimalism that I have let go. Number 1, you can't own physical books. You can only use ebooks or audiobooks. I trapped myself in this rule for a long time as one who loves physical books. I don't own bookshelves upon bookshelves of books. I keep a very small amount and I have a specific place where all of my books have to fit, but I've let go of that rule that I can only use my Kindle or use audiobooks. I think Kindle and audiobooks have their place, but I personally love a good physical book. Number 2, I think that this one is a really good standard when you're learning to let go of things, especially if you have a house full of stuff. But I've come to learn that the rule of you can only own one of a particular item can become a little too restrictive at times. For example, I own more than one Bible. That's just the example that comes to mind. I own more than one necklace. Just rules like that where you can only own one, I have let go of because there are instances in life when I want to own more than one of a particular item. I don't want to own just one glass per person or one fork per person or whatever the case may be, one pair of shoes. I own multiple in some of these areas, and for a long time I was so restricting myself that I felt like if I owned more than one in any particular area that I was kind of essentially failing as a minimalist. So if you're like me, you can let that go. Number 3 was the main cause of this video today. I've been reflecting on what part of minimalism was actually making me unhappy, discontent, and miserable. It was number 3 that I've come to realize was a false belief that I had and that I was failing at minimalism unless I abided by this rule. Number 3 is that you should own as little as possible, ideally almost nothing. If you can fit everything in a backpack, that would be ideal. And there are people who do this, and I admire them a lot. I love watching Rob Greenfield here on YouTube. There's a Japanese YouTuber, minimalist, I think his name is Saibu, it's S-I-B-U. He lives very, very sparsely. I love that for them, and I wanted to aspire to that for a long time, but it's just not practical with my family situation, with my lifestyle. It's just not practical. And so trying to live up to this false ideal of what I should be really, really made me miserable. So I let go of this idea and this view of extreme minimalism is the most perfect way to be a minimalist. Minimalism can come in all shapes and sizes. Some people have more, some people have less. It's really not about how much stuff you do or don't have. It's about just getting rid of the excess. A really great book for this is Joshua Becker's The More of Less. He talks about the goal of minimalism is not owning none, it's just owning less and owning what you love. Number 4, and I say this for people who might struggle with it, is the idea that you can only own neutral colors. I personally love neutral colors. So I don't struggle with this rule a lot. Maybe in particular clothing choices occasionally. And this can also play out in the you have to have a personal uniform. I know in a lot of minimalist books, especially towards the extreme minimalist side, they advocate for a uniform where you wear the same thing over and over and over. But I think this ideal of stark white walls, all white furniture, or beige everything, no color, nothing, is a fake rule that you don't have to follow if it doesn't suit you. I would just encourage you to just own what you love. And number 5 is one that I've really struggled with, and that is that everything must be tidy at all times. I try and make this a pretty realistic account. I think it's easy to follow YouTubers on social media who curate everything and they never show you their real lives, and it just seems picture perfect all of the time. They live in immaculate houses that are all white, perfectly minimal. I just don't think that's realistic. Like, we live real lives and not everything is Instagram worthy. My house gets messy. I have 3 small children. I just got so tired of living in this world where everything had to be tidy all of the time, or you're not a minimalist, or somehow by things getting messy, you still own too much stuff. And so that was a loop that I got stuck in. Well, my house is still getting messy, so I still must own too much. What can I get rid of? What can I get rid of? What can I get rid of? And y'all, that'll make you crazy. So let go of the fake rule that your house can never be messy, or that if your house does get messy, you're somehow a bad minimalist, because you're not. There's a quote out there, I don't know who said it, but it says that minimalism doesn't mean that your house never gets untidy. It just means that it's easily tidied. Our house can be a complete disaster, and I can get it cleaned in less than 20 minutes. The whole apartment, which is about 1,100 square feet, I can clean it all in less than 20 minutes. It never gets out of control chaos, but it does get messy, and that's okay. Anyways, those are my 5 fake minimalist rules. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a comment down below, subscribe, like, share, and I will see you in the next video.